because we're getting to the root of it. So, all right, I'm recording.
Okay.
We're creating a proposition.
Yeah. So I think we have captured again the way to break through the chicken and egg situation in which that what we're going to converge, the model have you articulated and the model have I envision it, and I will show you that how to shift from opposing value gains to aligned value gains at every level. From yeah, we have to see that model from the author audience level to the entrepreneur investor to the employer employee to the producer consumer. At every level there is a way to shift so that we move from the model we capitalize our value right now, which is extractive and opposite value gain, to one that is in alignment and is emergent and is again for life fulfillment and regeneration. All right. So that and so now then I think what we have to do is articulate the proposition reflecting these points and totally showing the model from model transition and the transformation, so that people can actually see and experience, okay, this is totally happening, and then they can begin to experience that, so they can begin to see in a way that will enable them to experience see how different it is and feel how much better it will really be. So we can actually demonstrate the benefit of transition from the opposite value gain model to the aligned value gain model. And then this is basically how we are going to being able to show how we can now, for the first time, begin to capitalize all the attributes of what I call our unique emerging goodness potentiality. Right? So that, and then to that, I think all we need to do is start beginning to present it and to start beginning people who to attract this. Now, having said that, I have then what I've been working on with local scale and others, a way to implement a project that we can actually have an awesome offer to build our first 100 teams to activate the top 100 richest cities in the world and bioregions on them through this model. Now,
yeah,
that's the potential for 100. Yes. And I just need to show you the model, and I think that's wonderful. I feel so incredible about this because let me also share with you that what you have articulated, the way you have articulated, is something that I have not been able to do, which is because I'm coming from the deep philosophical and existential aspects of it. Although I'm aware of systems and I have the gap, and now I finally have converged the gap, and I'm clear in my mind, and that. But for some reason, the way you articulate it is something that has been emerging from within you, right? And the language and the way that uses semantics you use it is totally reflective of the way that the message will reach people where they're at, which is something I have not been able to do in particular, because I'm too deep into the philosophy, right. and now so that I basically what I see here is that between you and I, we have bridged the spiritual to material cognitive continuum necessary to present and to enlighten people to experience the benefits of this transformation. This
Yeah.
is so cool.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is so
yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's very cool. Yeah, and I
Um,
think that that's, I think that's what I've, used, because for me, like going out and presenting this proposition to people, that's what I've been doing now for the last, year is, I mean, and I'm doing it, I'm doing this in a very sort of like, kinesthetic way, or this kind of working model, which means that like, I have this idea, because I need that, that's that presenting, figuring out how to present this in a way where people can understand it. That's really the base of
sure.
it, and so that's what I've been doing. I go out and I say, all right, I've got this great thing, and I start talking to people, and then I get a bunch of feedback, and I'm like, whoa, these like they don't understand what I'm talking about in way A, B, and C, Oh,
Right.
and I don't understand what I'm talking about in ways C, D, and E, right? And so then I have to go back,
Yes.
put it back together, talk to, okay, now I've got this thing, and then right, get that feedback. And I think that, I'm at a place now, there's still, there's a lot, there's always, every time I go back, I'm like, look at stuff, I'm like, oh, I got to change this, change that. But I'm getting closer and closer, as I go along. And so, I think that's just part of my my job, or part of how I'm working it. It's not like the whole plan, but is for me, it's like I just got to keep talking to people. I just got to keep talking to people, keep presenting it, and every time I do, it gets better, it gets more refined.
Absolutely. It's you iterate, and this is the way I see it. You iterate, and what happens is that the newer iterations gives you a view that when you present, you get different feedback, and that feedback then it brings some insights that allows you to iterate to a better proposition. And this is how the thing keeps emerging, and it keeps getting better as it emerges. And again, emerging capitalization is how I think about it.
Yeah. So
Wow.
where
So
does
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So where does that because I should go and start making dinner soon. Where does that yeah, so then where do we leave off for now? I think so I mean, number one, you're gonna send me this model that I can look at.
Right,
correct?
right. Yeah, yeah. And let's talk about it whenever you feel like it, because I think that I'm ready to begin to integrate our messages to reflect this partnership. And I would like to right away start formalizing the partnership into how we are going to create some kind of what could be called like initial community offering type of thing. So that are you familiar with what that is? Like initial coin offering type thing, but
Yeah, like right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
right,
familiar with that. And
right. And also I'd like to know what have you been the plans for? You wanted to create a coin, right?
yeah, well, the coin is already created, with being in the Haifa DAO, using the Haifa DAO platform, the coin is already created. It's a co-op token. It's connected to, the Telos blockchain. And, it's not connected to, at this point, it's not connected to like, exchanges,
Right.
crypto
Okay.
exchanges. But I think the idea, at least this is the idea that Haifa is talking about, which is, okay, well, you create this coin, use that as the utility. That's how people are going to pay for services. And, and then at a certain point, like people invest, right, either with their time or their money. And at a certain point, you figure out, okay, well, when do these tokens vest? And they start to vest, and then people can then exchange them and sell them. But and how that works with the, with an ICO. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not
yeah,
exactly sure.
basically, we can prepare that ICO based on what we already have. So I need to understand that, because also I will work with Stefan from Local Scale get that part, because the way I'm understanding is, yeah, we have a coin, but it's not worth anything. In other words,
It's
you
not worth,
cannot.
of course. No, it's not
You,
worth anything. Exactly.
right.
That's just like if I start a company and start selling people shares, it's not worth anything at first, right?
Right. Yeah. So okay,
It's only
right.
worth, yeah, it has to start to gain value, which, in this case, these aren't, my understanding, we're not calling, these tokens, there's not equity tokens, they're utility tokens. So that way it's not, if they're equity, then people are owners. If it's utility, right, then it's just a measurement of the value being exchanged by all parties. So the
Yeah.
utility
The thing is that how you capitalize, in other words, how do you turn those coins into actual dollars? That's my
well,
question.
at this point, what you're saying, I mean, how you turn them into actual dollars. And again, this is not my area of expertise, and I'm still learning here. So
Sure.
I'm not crystal clear on all this. These are questions that I have.
Sure.
But the very brief, the answer, is that if somebody has to pay for services or pay for membership, with the utility token, right, they're going to pay with fiat, or another kind of cryptocurrency, and then they receive, so if I'm a client, I say, okay, well, I want some services, I'm going to give you, $1,000 in fiat, and you're going to give me 1,000 tokens back, and then essentially I'm paying in tokens, right? So if it's the token that buys the utility of whatever you're offering, then the more that utility has value, the more that people want your services or want to come into to the membership, then the more that actually has like dollar, that has an actual value, because people are willing to pay for it. So then it starts to create liquidity, blah, blah, blah. And then at a certain point, then you put that token on an exchange where people can sell it and swap it back and forth for crypto or fiat. Again, I'm not the expert, and so that's what I know. That's
Sure.
my
Yeah,
understanding.
yeah. And again, this is an opportunity to create something, whatever. In other words, here's where you and I need to look for somebody who has all the expertise to then become one of us, and then so we can capitalize his understanding of how we can make this for all of us work better. And that's basically how. Yeah, and okay, so
Yeah,
that's kind of.
absolutely. And I'd love to, to have, an ICO, or even, to go to people I know and say, hey, do you want to invest? And right, that's, and right now, right, it's not a very elegant, that pitch is not very elegant, because I don't have the, the full understanding of how, I mean, I had the basic understanding, but
Let me ask you
and
directly, do you see yourself as a good, well, you said a good producer of elegant pitches?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I'm just a freaking, I'm a channel, just, like you. And
Yeah,
so
no, but
if that's where, I think that what more and more I see that, like, part of, because I'm asking, that's what I'm doing. I'm asking the divine, I'm asking the universe, where do you need me? Right.
uh-huh.
And then I can get, it's fun. I get surprised, by the answers I get, and one of the answers right now, I'm getting is, Rob, go talk to people, go in front of people and just keep talking and keep pitching. And yeah,
Cool.
so right now I feel like, and I'm not doing it as much as I should be, because I'm spending so much of my time, doing what needs to be done, the actual tasks
Right.
for the clients, right?
Right.
And that's keeping the business going. But, I think ideally I'd be on, meetings all the time. I'd just be making meetings and talking with people and pitching, because, like you, and you understand this, there's something that I'm transmitting that's beyond the pitch, right? I have I'm vibrating a certain energy.
Mhm.
And I may not be like sharing this with every, but I'm vibrating a certain energy for whatever reason. I feel like I've gone into the future, or a possible
Sure,
future, and seen
sure.
how this works.
Yes,
It's coming through me. It's not me.
yes.
It's not my right.
Hmm.
And so when I'm what I'm finding is when I go in front of people, even if the pitch isn't perfect, that they're getting it transmitted to them.
You are embodied by a new possibility that wants to emerge, and you're being driven by that, and people feel it, and they say, "Oh, I like this," and they begin to resonate with that, because what that means is that their consciousness begins to hear that the creational value of that new possibility which you're articulating, and it says, "Yes, yes, yes, yes." It resonates. That's what resonates.
Right, I'm resonating.
Resonates.
Yeah, and it's genuine. It's just
Yeah.
it's there's no bullshit in it.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So wonderful. Okay, so I'll share this, and also the model, and also um I'll check what I have sent you, but then also I'd like to share as well other parts of the philosophy and the way that I have shifted from holonic self-regeneration to holonic self-convergence to reflect this point of that having the mindset first as something that is required to then to be able to collaborate at a big scale. But then what I'm doing is I'm focusing on bringing into to bring in at this stage of holonic self-convergence. Think of it, the top 100 most influential people in the regenerative movement, bringing them together. People like Reiki and others. Joe Brewer, are you familiar with Joe Brewer?
Oh my gosh, Joe Brewer is just blowing my mind these days.
Okay,
I love
and
him.
and
Yeah.
that level, bringing them together with the proposition of, okay, look, it's time to commit to the idea of creating a work that works for all of us. We're not going to create a work that works for all of us when 100 people are calling us into 100 different places. We have to come here again in alignment. So that I see as a great possibility. And I have that from a conversation I had with Alexander Laszlo, which is the director of the New Paradigm Institute. And then I'm working with him to become a fellow researcher. And that's, and then there are also some movements in there that I'm bringing together as all part of this. This is very exciting, Rob. Very, very exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
let
So
me
I'm
send you
writing
this
down.
stuff. Yeah, man. And then we'll look into getting together next week again. So when is our meeting for Holonic system?
It's
Tuesdays
Tuesdays at 3 p.m. is the
at 3
regular
p.m. Okay.
meeting for anybody and everybody.
Okay. So I'll send you this. Respond to me if you want to do meet on Monday. If not, then whenever we meet on Tuesday, we talk about it. And we keep allowing things to emerge. This has been awesome today. Today has been absolutely awesome in terms of and the goal, huge goal that we achieved today. We came together. We came together in understanding how we're going to grow together. Brother,
Yeah.
awesome, fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So
I
I'll
know
send
it's
this. Yeah, I'll send this to you, and then we'll keep in touch. And if nothing else, we'll meet on Tuesday again.
yeah, Tuesday. Yeah. Monday's already
Jam pack. Okay.
booked for me. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
I would
That's
say
fine.
Tuesday, and then we go from there. And I will also want to leave us, with as far as like, okay, because we're talking about things, and then I'm thinking about them. What are the projects that we're actually sort of talking about? What are the things, again, distilling down what we're talking about from, what are the sort of potential projects? And so what I'm seeing, is number one, like, okay, that, and that ICO, an initial community offering. Okay, that like, that's a project. That's something that, we could, be collaborating on. Again, these action oriented ones. Number two, right, like fill out, application for that, for that grant or for, these
Right.
applications. Those are things, and I think that then goes along with number three that I'm seeing, or hearing, which is like, okay, we're refining this proposition, the proposition to, the different parties, to everybody. Okay, how do we continue to refine that and then, present that to people? So, yeah, I want to leave from my end, leave with that, because I think those are things that then we can, keep in our field.
Love it. Appreciate it. Yeah. Appreciate it because, we make step forwards and we leave with clarity and what are we, how we are aligning and where are we going after, and these three things. So we can focus on that, not start looking for more things to do. We all have already in our plate that we need to accomplish, and we keep, moving forward. And this is way more than, I mean, this is big. This is huge. These three things that you have articulated. And send me the video of this video if you have a chance.
I will. Yeah, I'll send you the video. And absolutely, no, it's beautiful. I mean, this is it. It's like I have, it's like I'm a person and I have these things that I can do and I have ways of thinking, and but then you bring another person in, that has their ways of thinking. They can do their time, their energy, their effort. You bring those two together, that's a big deal. You bring another, and so it's like, this is, this is how it works.
And I think that just to reflect this, that this is the second time we see each other. There's a level of trust, complete trust, and it has to do with our purposeful alignment, or our alignment of purpose. And that is one of the benefits, a huge benefit that we bring to whomever is going to partner with us.
Beautiful.
And then let me speak to the people who are going to see this video. All right, everybody. So these are going to be one of the stories that you're going to be seeing as you come together and join Rob and us and other people. And I want you to tell us, how do you feel? How do you feel for having watched Rob and I talk about this that wants to emerge story that is just being told for the first time, because it's just being given birth through our conversation? Go ahead and put a comment on how do you feel about it. So I'm talking to our future partners. See
you. All right. Perfect.
you.
All right. I'm going to